Hello. Today we'll be making some fire starters, and I've been making these for a few years. I use them in the fireplace, I take them camping, I use them in the fire pit, and it's really just one strike with the lighter and you're done. They give you 15 minutes up to an hour of a little bit of a burn time to get your fire established and going. Even if you're outside camping and it's a little bit wet and you're using green wood and it takes a little bit more time to really get the fire established, these do a really nice job. So here's what we're gonna need. Some of these little plastic paper cups, kind of like you get free samples in the grocery store with. I'm gonna use some pine shavings today. Here's the wax that I have shaved up. An empty soup can. We're going to melt the wax in that, and we're going to use an alcohol burner. Homemade alcohol burner. Maybe I'll make a video on that sometime soon. We're going to use that as the heat source to melt the wax. And here's one that I made in the past. And what I used inside of there was just some corrugated cardboard. I cut a strip of it, rolled it up, jammed it inside the paper cup, filled it with wax. And believe it or not, that little thing burns for about 45 minutes. Maybe when we're done here, we'll do a little burn time test on these and see how actually time them out and see how they do. Okay, let's get to it. All right, the alcohol burner's fired up. And we have some wax here in our soup can. And I'm just going to hold this over the fire. Just like that. And we can watch the wax melt here. These alcohol burners I make with 2 pop cans. And that's it. They fit together nice. You cut them, push them together, pop some holes in there, and you're done. They make a lot of heat. You can see down there it's already starting to melt. Okay, there we go. Our wax is all melted. And I've already filled these little paper cups with the pine bedding. And now I'm just going to simply pour the wax into each cup. Alcohol burner still chooching away. That's it. That's about it. So when I make these for a fireplace or in even a fire pit really, when it's not all that critical, I don't fill them up all the way. I just get it so that the wood chips are soaked or the cardboard is soaked, and I leave it at that. Now when I make these for camping or something like that, I would fill them up all the way with wax, because it's the wax that burns and gives you the extra burn time. See, like that? Something I would use for camping. And that's it. I'm gonna go through all of these and fill them up with all the wax that I have. And then we can come back Give them a little bit of time to harden and cool off, and then we can come back and do a burn test on them and see what kind of burn times we actually get. And we can compare one of these with one of these guys, the cardboard, and we'll also save one of these that are full all the way. Okay, we'll come back in a little while. Thank you. Okay, so these have had time to harden and dry, and I have 3 of them. This one is just has an average amount of the wax in it with the pine wood shavings. This one I have filled pretty much to the top with the wax, and this is one I made a while ago with the packed cardboard and wax. So I'm going to take these over and put them in the fire pit, and once I get them all lit, I'm going to light this one first, then this one, and then this one. And once we get them lit, I'll start the timer. There we go, they're all lit. They lit pretty easily. One strike of a lighter, and they were lit. And we'll start the timer. And I'll come back in a few minutes and see where we're at. This one's the cardboard. The one in the middle is the one that's full of wax, and this one is just lightly filled. I would use this one most likely in a fireplace, and then this one most likely take it camping with me, because you never know when it's going to be wet. We're about 3 minutes in, and they're all burning away still. There's a lot left to go. Check in a little bit. It's a windy day. You can see the wind whipping around. You can maybe even hear it too. And another good thing about these, if you use them outside, is really the wind doesn't affect them too much at all. Okay, it looks like the one that was lightly packed with just the pine shavings and just enough wax to saturate them, looks like that one's just about out. Although you never know, that little bit of wax that's at the bottom could sputter on and burn for another 2 minutes or so. And we are at just a little bit over, almost 8.5 minutes there. So that's pretty good. You put that in a fireplace, you should be able to start a fire. And these other 2 are still going pretty strong. We'll see how long these go for. It looks like the wind got to the one with the cardboard. Kind of took it out for the most part. Pine shavings are still going. We are at over 11 minutes. Still going. Now I should have mentioned that it's about 55 degrees today and it's pretty windy. You could see that earlier when the flames were blowing all over the place here. That's it. I'm going to call those 2 done. The one with just the pine shavings saturated with wax, that took about 8.5 or 9 minutes. I'm going to say that one took about 10.5 minutes. And we are at the 12-minute mark. And the pine shavings with that little paper container full of wax still going. but it won't be going for too much longer. So these little fire starters, they're cheap, they're easy. You can make them out of anything. You don't have to use pine shavings from the pet store. You can use sawdust from your wood shop. If you shred your paper or bills, you can use those. You can use cardboard boxes. So really, just about anything. Pour some wax on it, take it with you, light it up in an emergency. This will give you a real good chance to get a fire going. All right, thanks for watching.